I guess it's time to start, guys, so let's jump straight into the game. And let's make sure the music is playing. Let me do the first round of pleasantries. Here we have, spawning in the bottom left corner, his name is...
Acer Nerchio.
That's exactly right, and now we have spawning the top... Sorry, what top? The bottom right corner of the map. The map, of course, is it Nuclear Precinct?
It is.
Yeah, his name is...
PandaTank.
Awesome. By the way, PandaTank is an awesome nickname, not only for those of you who have or have not been playing World of Warcraft, but just in general. Can you imagine a panda tank shooting those little cuddly pandas? And that's a way of dismantling your opponent. He just, there's a big shooting tank and it just looks Russian, it's all rusty and broken, and it starts shooting pandas, and everyone goes, oh, they are so cute. And then there's another round of tanks, and those tanks are real tanks, and they shoot bullets instead of pandas.
Now, I mean, that's always the question I've had about PandaTank. Is a PandaTank a tank that shoots pandas, or a tank that just looks like a panda that shoots bullets? You know?
That
or
was
shells,
too deep
whatever
for
they
me.
might be. You know? Which one is it?
Yeah. You
of the
never
chat,
know.
you let us
don't
know
want to
what you
hurt
think.
the pandas. I mean, don't hurt the panda.
No, absolutely not. Why would you launch pandas at people? But then, of course, it would be unexpected, like Hannibal marching through with the elephants. People are like, whoa, what the heck's an elephant? Pandas might have a similar effect on people who have never seen pandas.
Yeah. And PandaTank already being annoying with his Proberto. And as we know, like 90% of Probertos don't make their way back home. I'm not sure that they are aware of that statistics before they set out for the scouting pattern. But hey, we have a nice mating dance, as Jack calls it here, trying to prevent placing of the natural as long as possible. And we also have, a very fast Nexus. Ooh. This is a Nexus after a gateway, so no Forge fast expanding. Ooh, this is interesting.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a pretty big map, so he can get away with a lot of different stuff. And one of the things that he can, of course, get away with is that gateway expand. He's going for 2 gas though, which is interesting. I've seen it before with the one, so we'll have to see what exactly is different about this 2 gas approach from PandaTank.
Would you allow me, my dear American friend, to venture a wild guess?
A wild guess you may venture.
I think this is going to be a variation of a very old style of free gate sentry expand. But instead, we go Nexus after the gateway, and then you have the Cybernetics core, and he will follow up with 2 additional gateways and try to defend it all with a mothership and a couple of sentries. But that's a wild guess. We'll see.
We're definitely gonna have to see. They're not supposed to be in here dealing this much damage. I can't believe they got all of the gas workers there. That's actually a big deal. It's gonna slow down the timings. At this point in time, the minerals timing is gonna be a small, not as big a deal, but like slowing down that gas production from PandaTank is actually gonna make a slight little hiccup in his build.
That's exactly right, because it doesn't only slow down the gas production, it also slows down the mineral production. Sorry, not production, just the mineral income.
Mineral mining.
Yeah,
income.
you need to pull off additional workers from minerals, and every worker is a 32 mineral per patch, 32 mineral per minute income, and if you have to let that go, that's nearly 100 minerals you're losing each minute, just because you were able to deal with you were able to lose 3 of your workers. So losing workers, we already know, not really cool.
Definitely not one of the cooler things to do, especially in the early game. Killing workers later and later into the game becomes less and less of an impact unless it's a large amount of workers. But in the beginning, getting those early worker kills is very powerful. And really, that shouldn't have happened. If you're going to go gateway expand like that, you should probably go for something that can deny that. Just a stalker, or maybe a sentry, mothership core, something like that. Speaking of which, I don't think we have a mothership core. There's a mothership core.
Yeah, he has one
on the field.
So
moving
right
across
now,
the map.
Yeah, right now doing a nice scout with the Mothership Core. By the way, I love how people turned out to start using the Mothership Core. First it was kinda I mean, they kept it with their army, it was kinda awkward, no one really knew what to do about it, and then we saw players like Whitera and Grabby who would just go on with the Mothership Core and try to do a little sneaking and prodding, and this made early game so much more active.
Yep. It just gives the Protoss player a chance to move out on the map, because beforehand the speed of the Zergling just completely decimates any sort of map control the Protoss player could want. But now they have a flying unit that can't be taken out by Lings.
By the way, I'm really excited because my wild guess was actually right. He did go for a free-gate sentry. Ha 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 ha.
Hooray! And 3 bases for Nerchio, so all things coming in threes, as all good things and terrible things do. Fortunately, this time it will be a good thing for one of the players and terrible for one of the other. And yeah, a lot of sentries coming in here. We don't have any backup from a Robo or something like that. It's just gonna be a +1 3-gate pressure.
And you know what the design of this is? This is to force as many Zerglings as possible. This is not to deal real damage. And with the addition of Mothership Core, the forcing aspect has been so much easier for the Protoss.
Ooh, but there's a little bit of run by here. He only has a Pro blocking me. He didn't have it in the proper position. He's going to be able to get in here. 3 Zealots and a Stalker to defend are going to do pretty well, but he's at least going to get a full scout and a couple of probe kills here.
Ooh, nice and active. Now we have sentries being surrounded by the Zerglings, but they should force field themselves out nice and easy. Now the bigger problem is here in the main of Panda. He already lost 14 workers. This is not looking cool for him. He needs to stop losing those workers. Now he's doing really good with the sentries here and some nice force field, setting himself very close to the expansion itself. He will just try to go for forcing down the destruction of this nice facility, and he just gets
really
back
cool
home
little push
right now.
there.
Yeah, recall.
And you know, evens the score in some way as far as Zerglings lost. Keep in mind, all those Zerglings are not drones. The worker count is approximately 50 to 40 right now. So we'll see how that ends up working out.
And even though Nerchio still has an advantage, and I don't know how he does that, he has 52 drones against 40 probes. So far, he had to spend a plethora of his own larva to make sure he has enough units to defend this. And Panda succeeded very much at making sure that Nerchio doesn't have so many workers as he would wish. And Nerchio is one of these guys who would just go for the 4th and the 5th base, much like the Maga, and you know, eventually would overflow you with his units.
And we see that he's going for the Hydras here and the Spire at the same time, which is kind of interesting. I have seen some Hydra Mutalisk play before, which works out surprisingly well. I don't know if that's what we're going to see here. He might just be keeping his options open. But it does look like PandaTank is gearing up to take a 3rd base. That is likely
and Nerchio with another run by, but
be.
there is a Zealot. Yes, Zachariah, you have done so well.
Again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Panda will be falling for this. There are no bases there. With only Zerglings, Panda can be... oh, yeah.
Ooh, missed force fields there. Managed to get those Lings out.
I've got
Nerchio
this.
A little bit
hey,
lucky.
Ladies! Not really. Yeah, sentries should be much more stoic type of a unit.
Yeah, you imagine a sentry on like the castle wall, you know, observing, you know, looking out. The Zergling run by though, targeting down this Nexus pretty quickly. There's only going to be 1 Zealot to defend. This is going to have to be cancelled. And he's going to get the free Zealot in the meantime.
That's really huge right now.
PandaTank's going to be moving out though.
And I'm not sure he should be doing it. I mean, if I were him, but hey, it's him playing in this league, not me. Not you, but if I were him, I would probably stick to my 3rd base before I get some cannons there, because this lingering threat from all the Zerglings have been there. it has been there, it has been imminent, and Nerchio just waited for the perfect opportunity, and he took down the Nexus, which is a huge loss for PandaTank right now. And anyway, he's going in, but there are mutas, there are Hydras. Oh my god, so much stuff right now, and PandaTank, it doesn't seem that he has enough firepower. The mutas are just nice and strong. They don't even start losing their health. Well, one of them does, but that's not enough. PandaTank warping additional stalkers, but will he be able to deal with this force?
Wow. GG. He, in that decision, yeah, he lost the third. He had planned on keeping the third, and he said, you know what? I'm not even going to try to take a third. I'm going to kill you right now. That did not work out for PandaTank.
Not really. So anyway, guys, we'll be going into game number 2 straight away, after a very short commercial break, so don't go anywhere. This is a best of 5 series, after which we have an even bigger treat for you, Snoot versus Cass. So this evening is going to be at least as epic as the last one. This is what I promise. We'll be back after a commercial break. My name is Yegwen, with me casting is the Jack Attack. Well, guys, it seems that my good friend Gizmo, which is Gzimax on the chat, has become very ballsy. What is this? Guys, if you could let us know what a show match between who and who from Korean players you would like to see, just let us know. We can do that. Well, can we? Oh my god, I did not know. He's taking over the show. Help!
I mean, technically he did say try. I mean, he said we can try to do that. So, I mean, you can give a little bit of, you know, space there. He said try. Technically, everything can be tried.
But his try works kind of different than everyone else's. When I told him to try to get good players for this tournament, he got us Nerchio, Cass, Dimaga, Whitra. He nearly got TLO. Then we have PandaTank and Happy and Snoot and Bly. So this is how his trying looks like. So I'm kind of afraid about casting a show match between MVP and MMA, for example. So we need to be careful with Gizmo. Anyway, here we have, spawning here on Belshire Vistage, in the bottom right position on the map, he is...
Acer's Nerchio.
Now, his relentless opponent, playing straight from South Africa, his name...
PandaTank.
Yeah, and that's the most awesome kind of tank you can imagine, I think. And PandaTank, by the way, doing his good old style of placing a pylon inside his base. He's not one of the players who are threatened by just Zerglings running in. Hey mate, what are we in? You know, Australia? Why would I worry about that? So he just places the pylon here near his gas geyser to keep it nice and safe.
Yep, absolutely. It's also going to cut down that surface area from potential lings, and it gives him power in his mineral line. That's sort of one of the overlooked things. It's really important as a Pro player to always have power in and around your mineral line for defense and weapons and things. It's really nice to see, PandaTank from South Africa, South African player. So it's always nice to see players from different regions that have different styles. We did see a lot of the German players in the beginning of Harvest One release doing a lot of gateway expands. And now we see PandaTank doing his sort of his own take on it, not the gasless one gate expand, but 2 gas instead. Last game, we'll have to see what variety he chooses to pick this time.
I mean, last game worked really well for him. The push that he did, the only missing ingredient of that whole explosive mixture was that he lost all of his workers. Well, not all of his workers, but some of his workers unnecessarily. And, you know, if he did not lose those 14 workers early in the game, he would be ahead of Nerchio in terms of his economy. And instead, he just fallen behind. And, you know, Nerchio is one of the players, a player of such a caliber that would just exploit that right away, in your face.
In your face, indeed. But he is going for the gasless this time. He's going for gasless expand this time around. So, very nice. Following it up with 1 gas in the cybernetic, 2 gas in the cybernetics core.
He may still
so
go
yeah, this is
for
looking very much like the Hasselhoff's build.
Yeah, it's very much. I think the person who invented that build, when you were going for frigate Sentry expand, but only after frigates you would expand against Zerg, was Naniwa. But I was just. Oh, it felt so bad when I saw that he started playing Forge Fast Expand. I was one of the rebels who were telling, hey, Forge Fast Expand is not the only way to play Zerg and Wings of Liberty, but I was wrong. This is why I'm a caster, not a player.
I was there at MLG Providence when Naniwa started doing that in tournaments. I was just like, no, Naniwa. He started switching over. I was like, no, keep doing the gate expands. They're fun.
You traitor!
Keep
I
them viable.
believed in you.
Yeah, so really nice job. This time, you know, I was criticizing earlier. He only gets 2 zealots in the beginning.
By the
But
way,
he managed to scare away the Zerglings.
this is sick! Did you see what Nerchio just did? Oh my god! He was going there with a drone to take an expansion, but his overlord saw that there's still a probe. So until the probe gone away, and until Nerchio was able to chase it away with a couple of Zerglings, he just stopped moving with his drone. He just stopped it in its tracks and made sure that that PandaTank will not have the certainty about whether there's a third base or not.
So cool stuff there. Well played by Nerchio. Want to get every single advantage possible, and vision and information, really big parts of the game. The more information you have, the better decisions you can make. The flip side of that is denying your opponent vision, denying your opponent information. So that way they are playing a little bit more in the dark. They're the ones that have to make the guesses and the possibly poor decisions.
And in the meanwhile, we have a very interesting tech choice of Twilight Council for Panda. So we'll keep it going again for a 2-base all-in with you know, Blink Stalkers. That has been recently nerfed because Blink right now takes 170 seconds up from 130, so it's much more difficult to get it running, but then the timing plays out nicely with the Mothership Core and alongside with just a ton of Stalkers and the +2 upgrade.
Really nice positioning by this Mothership Core, gets to damage all of these links and sees them all coming, so he'll be more than prepared for this attack coming in. And this is pretty neat. He's got a forge in the front, and he didn't build the cannon until that forge was complete. Oh god, no, he didn't have the forge in the back. What? Mixing up games.
Yep.
Yeah. Likely be going for some... Perhaps some... Whoa, DT! That is what he's going for this game.
So let's
Was
throw
banking
our
up quite a bit
earlier
of gas.
theory in the trash.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can do that.
That's
Yeah, so maybe another 2-base play from PandaTank, or maybe some sort of a DT expand type action. So let's see.
well, it would have been a DT expand none of us has ever seen with no gases at the expansion. It's kind of hard to afford DTs. But then Zealot Arcan Mixture may actually make some sense. And will we have a force field? No, we don't. Oh, yes, we have them. And PandaTank just deflects this attack easy peasy, and he's going for +1. But I'm kind of thinking, what is he going to do with this Dark Shrine? I mean, Dark Templars are a nice choice, but you cannot really hope to deal a ton of damage with them, especially considering the fact that Nerchio already has Spore Crawlers in every single of his bases.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages for the Zerg. They can use the Spore Crawler and they'll protect themselves from the DTs while protecting themselves from the airplay. And both are very strong and hard to swarm. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone there, and it's not going to hurt you too bad just to have 1 spore in your.
Mothership Core losing this bunch of Zealots here. Yeah. Well, maybe in open field it would have been captured, but not like this, not near the Zolnaga Tower, not in the bushes hidden, not with the Mothership Core. But I think he will have to use the recall in the way. Oh, 3 DTs on the way. Hello,
That's
boys.
really interesting. He's going to walk right by the Zerglings, so this isn't going to come to any sort of surprise to Nerchio. He's going to watch them come over here.
Nerchio may see them. It's easy to spot them near the rocks here, and you know, but anyway, Nerchio is just prepared for this. He will not even be mildly surprised or amused by this attack.
Nope, not at all. It's gonna get cleaned up right away. I mean, how many drones have been killed? Looks like
oh my
2.
god, 2! Holy
2.
smokes! Yeah. And now Panda going in.
No.
And he's
gonna get back. That's like some sort of intense saving grace right there that he can do that recall, because he is really far behind now. His attack hasn't worked or dealt any damage, and he invested a lot in it. He can move into Archons now, but
he's going to secure himself the 3rd base. However, with such a small force against what Nerchio has, and he basically has a cloud of Zerglings, he doesn't really care. He can throw them left and right. He doesn't mind any losses that he will sustain. And Panda right now just placing this Nexus. He will need a ton of cannons there. On top of that, he needs to defend his natural, and Nerchio seems to be on fire.
oh, and he gets a really nice surround here. All the Hydralisks dealing lots of damage. He's gonna have a warp into Zealots that'll help him out a little bit, but I don't see this going too well for PandaTank.
No, in fact, he's just getting obliterated right now, and you know, the Hydras are just superior because they have the same range that the Stalkers do and a better DPS. So whenever Stalkers try to engage the Hydras, there are just more Hydras in a single spot, and they are more clumped up, so they would obviously deal much more damage to you than you'll be able to deal to them.
Yep, and trying to pick off the Overseer right now, but not really working out. These Hydras are dealing lots of damage, but there are more Stalkers, and they have Blink to help them out. Meanwhile, a stream of Zerg units is just flying across the map. It is very, very scary. The worker counts are 66 to 65. 66 is perfect saturation on 3 bases with all the gas.
And it starts looking like a single-player campaign mission. You just, you know, oh, now I've got 3 bases, I can just swarm him in. And that's what Nerchio is going for. And Panda doing the best he can with the blinks and all of that, but...
Oh, he just is getting that upgrade.
Oh.
If it couldn't get any worse, it just did.
Just before +2.
Yep. And +1's gonna finish up for Nerchio there. I mean, at this point in time, PandaTank has got to figure out some way to get back into this game. Maybe some key storms, or I mean, normally you would say when behind Dark Shrine, but he's already tried that and it hasn't worked. So, I mean, where does the Pros player go from here?
Well, this may be a build straight into GG.
Yep.
Like
he could be transitioning into GG pretty soon here. Huge flood of Zerg units over into the right area. He's actually got them spread out, coming in from 2 different attack paths.
And the Nexus gets focused. Oh my dear goodness. And this is not looking good at all for Panda. Oh, nice force fields cutting off a
nice force
significant
fields.
part of the Hydras, but then there are many more here. And is that enough forces of PandaTank to deal with this? It seems that for now, yes it is. But I don't think that longer term he will just manage it. Although we need to remember that you know, Nerchio will shortly run out of minerals. If we check the losses tab, is very even. Wow, it's only 50 minerals apart. There are 2 Zerglings of difference worth of damage dealt between those two players. But PandaTank will mine out quite soon and even faster than Nerchio. But then Nerchio is just spending minerals so much faster than Panda.
Yep. Absolutely, and you can see that PandaTank is really gas starved right now. He's getting up to 800 minerals with only 100 gas. He really wants those higher tech units, but he can't afford them only on 2 bases.
You're exactly right, and he tries to defend. Oh, then the Nexus doesn't even get cancelled. Not looking good for Panda right now, and he just warps in a couple of Zeals. What he could really use is some Pandas. Pandas, I'm sure they would be cuddly enough, but then the Zealots are in the back, the Stalkers are dying left and right, and I'm not really sure if Panda will hold this. It seems, yes, it is a GG with a capital G at the beginning. Nerchio just owned the house in this game.
Absolutely. That was very dominating. Nerchio outplaying PandaTank. Nerchio is a really strong player just globally right now. He's one amongst non-Korean.
Although, when I asked him, and I had a beer recently with him, he told me, ah yeah, recently I'm playing League of Legends.
Is that a joke?
What is that supposed to mean? I mean, we're losing players left and right, guys. No, we're not. Nerchio is... he got back to playing StarCraft 2 a lot more since the launch of Heart of the Swarm. At the end of Wings of Liberty, that's surprising. He was still very good at many of the events, but this is the only time where he was playing. So he didn't have much practice time except the big tournaments. Anyway, he's that type of a guy. I believe he could do wonders if he would just practice more. But anyway, guys, we'll be going back into our, in 3 minutes. Now is our time for a commercial break. And remember, guys, at the end of the stream, we have a free Heart of the Swarm copy for you. We do that every single stream. Every single stream, we give away copies of Heart of the Swarm to our viewers, one random person. Remember that. So make yourself as random as possible. Guys, we had just the most random occurrence of someone invading our game. I mean, there was a guy called Mitra, I think, joining the game, and Jack, since he's the admin and host for that, asked, "Who is Mitra?" And Mitra answered, "No one," and has left the lobby. I mean, where are the hidden cameras? And oh my god, this timing attack for Nerchio winning right away. Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, that 5-second timing attack is just very strong. I mean, what can you do against it? You only have 5 seconds.
What you gonna do?
Reflexes for that.
So we'll be going into 15-minute commercial break right now because the game was so long and entertaining. I'm just only kidding, guys. We'll not be going into any commercial break. We'll just host the game right away. I'm sure we're all here. And Panda seems to be disconnected. I would say he may be disconcerted with Nerchio's performance today, but no. Whatever works for you.
Absolutely.
Fastest win in the history of StarCraft 2. I'm not so sure. I have seen a couple of games like this. We could also do resume from replay feature.
I don't think that would be necessary though.
Yeah, I don't really think so. Alright, so go Power Rangers. By the way, which one of the Power Rangers you would like to be?
Oh, Pink Power Ranger, absolutely. Pink Power Ranger is the best. Everybody knows that.
Oh, do they?
I mean, pink is the best color out of all the colors, and
Oh, is
Pounder
it?
Ranger is the most powerful out of all the Power Rangers. So if you're the best color and the most power, I mean, if you have to compare Power Rangers, you have to do it on a power scale, you know? So, I mean, most power. That's what Stefano thinks, anyway.
Right. So let's forego this topic in favor of spawning here in the bottom left corner of our screens on Daybreak Nap. He is...
PandaTank.
Yeah, and he's blue, not pink, just blue. And he's spawning in top right corner. He is none other than...
Nerchio.
Yeah, very ballsy and very slimy. And he always manages to find a way to win. By the way, did you notice that whenever the Zerg spawns of larvae, they actually leave a lot of blood on the ground? It's like the larvae die when they give birth to drones? That must hurt a lot.
Whole process. Meantime, we have a 10 pool coming in. Have some early aggression from... And PandaTank not going for the usual gateway opening, which is interesting. Definitely gonna have to see how this works out. He goes Nexus first. It's gonna be really rough. It's gonna be very difficult to defend. I mean, Daybreak is a map that a lot of Pro players like to go Nexus first on. He is gonna see that pool.
But do you know
he knows
what
the timing,
Nerchio
knows
is doing?
exactly what's
Nerchio
up.
went for 10 pool. And this is going to counter... Oh, and Panda sees it. So he won't go Nexus first after all. Nice scouting. Nerchio went for this very ballsy play of 10 pooling. This is very popular. You go 10 pool, you do a double extract trick to make sure you have 12 workers so your economy is not so late. We saw Live doing this against Flash in MLG finals recently. And then you are able to follow up with any attack you wish. And it seems Nerchio will just be playing to that weakness of the Protoss in general, who just fast expand. But I've got this feeling that Panda will manage to squeeze in a cannon at least, and maybe a gateway even more.
Oh wow, look at this. I think he's... Okay, alright, maybe he's not going to. I was going to say he might even build a third building before the Nexus. This is a really, really delayed Nexus, and this is the positive effect of going for 10 pool against a competent player. They're going to say, oh, well, I can't go for my Nexus right now, even though I want to. I have to build another gateway, I have to build a pylon, and block this off. So despite the fact that there was some economic loss for going for the 10 pool, because it forced all this extra spending before the Nexus. Oh, wow. Oh, he broke down the wall there for a second and let the Zerglings in.
That was not
That was very ballsy.
good. That was too ballsy, I would say. And those Zerglings will be a a forever lasting annoyance for him. He will not be able to go for a Nexus unless he has a Zealot here and he wants to finish off the wall with his cybernetics core as well. I would be very nervous if I was this probe.
Yeah, this is really rough for PandaTank. He wanted his expansion down a long time ago, and Nerchio's expansion is going to finish right around the time that that PandaTank gets his started. So huge gap in economy between these two players right now. No, I think it's fine. I could be wrong, but I do believe it is all right.
But you know, the beauty of what Nerchio did is he just went for 10 pull. Because he knew he's going to be scouted, and you know, Panda just overreacted. He did not see so many Zerglings, there were only 6. But seeing Temple, he assumed that Nerchio will be going for extra fast aggression. And that could be the case, because Nerchio just left himself that door open. But he didn't follow up. He just did 6 Zerglings, which is a standard Nerchio opening, and then he went immediately for a fast expansion.
Yep, 10 pull, a nice aggressive opening. That does well against a lot of greedy play, but not by any means all in or super risky, just a really strong early attack to get the opponent on the back foot.
And you don't even need to do the attack itself. It's so beautiful. Whenever someone sees you going 10 pull, they will think, oh my god, I need to defend right now. And it's not always the case. You know, the real indicator are the Zerglings. How many Zerglings are on the map? Is there speed done for them? Is there a baneliness perhaps? Is he taking an expansion? And PandaTank did confirm for that. However, he overreacted with his building and Nexus placement in the first place.
Yep, and we have 10 lanes in construction. He did get up to excellent saturation on 2 bases. Looks like he's going for the 3rd, and these Zerglings are not going to be for any sort of major attack, but just some kind of map control. PandaTank going for the Stargate here. Hopefully we'll have some Oracle play, will bring him back into the game.
I wonder how this will pan out. I mean, it's going to be interesting with the Stargate. I imagine there are a couple of scenarios where he could deal a ton of damage, but if Nerchio goes for a similar style that he went the last game with the Mass Hydra, that would just counter whatever Panda can come up with from the Stargate play straight out.
Yeah, yep. The Hydralisk is really good against walls. It's just great against walls because it outranges, it doesn't outrange the cannon by itself, but because the cannon's behind all the buildings, the Hydras can just attack all the buildings in the front and then the rest of the army comes in. There isn't really much you can do about it unless you have a strong army.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it looks like these links from Nerchio just to clean up any proxy pylons. You can see his Overlord placement on the map is stellar, and he's pretty much got an eye on and anywhere that he needs it, and PandaTank tries to move out or tries to do pretty much anything, Nerchio is going to know about it. So he'll scout these 2 Phoenix, he'll know that they're coming, and the Spore Crawlers are instantly on the way.
Hallucination because the Overlord will really die this time.
Yep. And that's one of the huge advantages of playing Zerg. You just have a lot of opportunities to get good vision up, and Nerchio, excellent player, is going to be taking advantage of that.
And by the way, instantly, as he saw that, in an instant, he just went for a lot of Spore Crawlers. He placed them all around his base to make sure that the Queens don't need to be overproduced. This is one other way of reacting to it. Some players just do a ton of Queens, but then it just happens sometimes, oh, the first Queen go down and it's their carcass sprawls across the ground. But, you know, players sometimes overreact with the Queen numbers, and the Queens end up being picked up anyway while they're on the way to help their buddies. And, you know, when you put a lot of Spore Crawlers, it's equally as good.
Yep, and it's really cool that that Nerchio goes for the defense first. He doesn't know whether he's going into melee or ranged. He goes for the defense first. So that way he's flexible. He can go for melee if he wants to. He can go for ranged if he wants to. And get a read on his opponent before he does that.
And he's going for the same style that the last game. The Hydra then is already there, making the upgrade, and then we have Spire on the way. So I just feel that whatever PandaTank will have is going to be obliterated. Now PandaTank trying to secure this base, here at the third, but he's probably going to be demolished. Now it's a nice chance for him to surround the Zerglings with force fields, but he is not there. Oh my god, what is he doing?
Yeah, well, it looks like he's gonna try to deny his third base with the Zergling, and he's going for range. He's going for Hydra range first before speed, which I mean I'm not 100% sure what that means. Usually players will go for the speed first because it allows you to retreat. Nerchio just might feel that he's in a really dominating position. He's gonna go for the range first because he thinks that he can win in the engagements.
I don't retreat. I
see.
only advance in a different direction. Now we have PandaTank picking up some drones, but you know the kill count is up to 4, only 4. Not too much. He will notice, or will he, that there are Hydras on the way? Well, he may have not noticed that. Now those he will notice, especially if the Phoenixes die. And Nerchio is just prepping up for the big attack, and whatever happens, PandaTank doesn't seem to be prepared to receive it. And there are Corruptors, so there are not going to be any mutants this game. He went straight for Corruptors. Of course, when you see Phoenix, you don't want to produce mutants a lot, because Phoenixes kill mutants like, and they chew through them like butter. Now, oh, PandaTank, no, not paying attention to his Phoenixes, losing 2 of them at once. Not looking good for him.
Yeah, and we have, like you said, 11 Corruptors on the way. PandaTank is getting his third up. He's throwing down the cannons, going to try to hold this, but it is not going to be an easy battle by any means.
Well, Panda is preparing right now, but if we check the army supply, it's 83 in favor of Nerchio. There is not a single Colossi right now on the field. And oh, nice force field, by the way. 1 missing there. Why all the Zerglings? Oh no! Why? Oh my god, this was such a great opportunity to get rid of himself of all the Zerglings, and he missed it. Oh, this is so bad.
Oh yeah, so what do you think was the deal with these Corruptors? I mean, do you think he was assuming that the Phoenixes would continually be produced?
I just think that he was proactively countering well, you need to
Colossus?
do something against Colossi, yes. You could go either Viper or Corruptors. With the Zergling Hydra, I think the Corruptors are a better choice. With Hydra Roach, the Vipers would be a better choice. So Nerchio just prepping up for that, and he will use the gas he would otherwise use on Vipers to make a lot of banelings, and he will try to see how Panda deals with that. So right now, Panda is just clinging to his dear life, but it doesn't look very much in his favor.
Yeah, just such low tech units for PandaTank. He's trying to get the High Templar up, but Storm is not going to be ready. There will be no High Templar with energy. He's just going to be warping in Zealots here. This is really nice force field. He's zoning out the banelings away from his units, but he doesn't target them down or kill them before they manage to get their hits off.
The Hydras are still up, but for some reason, PandaTank, with those superior force fields, he deflected at least the part where he was losing his Zealots, and he deflected all the Zerglings, which is not bad, which is not very bad. However, Nerchio has still a very superior force right now, and I would like to remind ourselves that there is still not a single Colossi on the field, or is there? No, there is not. Which is...
No, he's going for the double forge, and he's going to have Storm up, so it looks like he's trying for maybe an Mortal Archon Storm type composition. We saw that yesterday in one of the PVZs, and it worked out moderately well, but the issue is that PandaTank is behind pretty far economically right now.
Yeah, and he is on 3 bases, that has to be noted. Protoss on 3 bases is not doing all bad, but if we take a look at the losses, well, it's not all bad as well. But then he just doesn't have the production capabilities of Nerchio, who is on 5 bases. You would normally expect Zerg to be on 1 base more than other races. Protoss can deal pretty well with being only on 3 bases if he is able to max out, and so far Nerchio is just trying to deny that maxing out moment.
Yeah, and someone pointed out Nerchio creep spread too good. I have to agree. I mean, I've never seen creep spread like this since July Zerg Season 2 GSL. Haven't seen it. It looks like he hurt us. There's the creep tumors going down. Make fun of my creep spread, will you? All right.
Yeah. All right, if I have to. I mean, why? Okay, so Panda right now, he will try to re-establish his fourth base. Not re-establish, just start to establish. It's just like with the prismatic alignment. You don't realign it, you just align it. And he's going for Dark Shrine as well, which I'm not really sure is a good choice. Also,
and 11 Broodlords on the way.
Yeah, so this is why it looks so bad. He doesn't have, he doesn't have Void Rays, he doesn't have the Tempest, the Carrier, he doesn't have any endgame units except one single Lone Archon and a couple of High Templars.
Yeah, he's got about 8 Storms now. Not quite 8 just yet, but he'll have them for the entirety of the battle if he engages here. And that's a lot. It's not something to, it's not something to shrug off. The issue is, how is he going to deal with these Broodlords? He's got Blink, but the Broodlords are all under a bunch of Spine Crawlers. It's just really, really difficult to deal with this, and he's just gonna have to run away, trying to establish his fourth base in the meantime. Really nice move here.
You're exactly right. He will have to sacrifice some of the Zealots, but there are already Banings being prepped up to make sure that the Zealots go off first, and the Broodlords are making their way here to make sure that Panda is cut off from his natural expansion, and this will put him in a terrible spot. A ton of Zealots being warped in right now, but they will all get chewed up by the Broodlords. Oh my god, this damage is just terrible. And PandaTank waiting for the perfect storms, but they do not really come. The weather forecast was not so good for tonight. Blinking in, however, it's a little bit too far, and the Broodlords go even deeper in the enemy territory. They don't really mind.
A lot of missed storms there, and the High Templar fall is not looking good. However, the Lings and the Banelings are now pretty much off the map, just Hydra Broodlord. The issue with Hydra Broodlord is that it's really awesome, and that's going to be hard to kill from PandaTank. All of these Hydras dealing so much damage. He focuses down the Broodlords, but in the meantime he takes a pounding from the Hydralisk, and that's a good game.
He takes the pounding. I mean, well, another extreme result. So if we go to our bracket, let me just show you quickly, guys. If you have just joined the stream, this is the bracket for the tournament, and oh shit. Are we still live?
And oh shit indeed.
My XSplit has just crashed for some reason. Or just encountered a problem. Guys, are you still hearing me? I hope you were not.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think, well, there's a little bit of delay. You are live. You are live. Yes, still smiley face. Yup,
oh,
yes, we hear you. Yes, yeah, yup, too good.
Oops.
Yup, yeah.
I mean,
mom plays better. Interesting. Wow.
Oops. So normally when I got this this all screen error report from XSplit, this means that something went wrong really bad, and it's very safe for me to say the S word, the F word, and well, any word I really choose. But I will be just a wiser person right now and make sure we're not live anymore before swearing online. So let us check the bracket again, guys. And oh, another problem, but I will not say anything now. So if we check the bracket right now, we see that we will have PandaTank dropping to the lower bracket, where he will face Wytra. We will have a PvP match. Both of the lower bracket matches will be coming on Thursday, so make sure you are there. Goody versus Snoot, and then Wytra versus PandaTank. Nerchio is progressing through the upper bracket, and so is Cass. So Nerchio will face Cass next time we meet, guys. And anyway, we have a lot of awesome matches coming. Tonight, there's another treat we have for you. We will have Snoot playing Cass just for the show. So don't leave the stream. We'll be back after well, kind of a long break. We'll be back in 1 hour from now. I will put down a countdown timer, but you can get back to the stream later on. Cass will be playing Snoot. This is the real treat of tonight, and I'm really pumped up for that. It's going to be a best of 9 series this time. Any comments, Jack? Or can we close this off?
No, I think
stop swearing.
I think we're solid. Things are looking quite nice.
Yeah. Alright guys, so it was awesome to have you here. You can just go and catch a break. We'll be back in 1 hour from now with more StarCraft 2 awesome entertainment. Thank you for attending and hope you get back with us. Remember, after the stream is done, we still have a free Heart of the Swarm copy for you. We do that every single stream just because we want esports to grow as big as it possibly can. So my name was and is Yegwen. With me casting is the Jack Attack, and we'll be back in 1 hour. In the meanwhile, you can enjoy some nice music, selection by Yegwen.
The June was from me home I started, left the girls at June, nearly broken hearted, saluted father dear. I kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer, breathing tears this mother, then off to reap the corn. Where I was born I cut the stout like horns of banished calls and goblins, a brand new pair of brogues, bled all the bugs, frightening all the dogs. On the rocky road, the Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the hare and turner down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, Macfallallyra. In Mullingar that night I rested, limbs so weary, started by daylight, me spirits flight, and there he took a drop of the pure, will keep me heart from sinking, that's the paddy's cure. He's on for drinking to see the lassie smile, but now the while, well let me curious thread would set your heart a bubble, and that's the why I was hired. She's I required till I was nearly tired of the rocky roads of Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the hare and turner down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Macfallallyra. Dublin next I ride, I thought it's such a pity to be so soon deprived the view of that fine city. Well then I took a stroll all among the quality, from the liquor was stolen in the neat locality. The crossed me mind, I looked behind, no bundle could I find upon me stake. A wobble inquired and for the road was set me Connacht brogue, wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The hare and turner down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, Macfallallyra. From there I got away, me spirits never fell and landed on the quay. Just as the ship was sailing, the captain and me roared and said that no room had he. When I jumped aboard a cabin bound for Paddy was down among the pegs. So funny rigs like that, some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling. The folly head I wish me set was dead, better far instead on the rocky road to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up the hare and turner down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, Macfallallyra. The boys a Liverpool, oh, when we safely landed, called me Silverpool. I could no longer stand it, blood began to boil me, for I was known for old Dave and Dave. Well, they began abusing their rabby selves as I left by the Galway wives were dying, so he was a hobbling. The louds were made, they joined in the affray, quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin, to 3, 4, 5, and put the hare and turner down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, Macfallallyra.
I travelled around every to me time, and troubles I seen a few. I found far better and never declined to paddle me own canoe. Me once was small, I cannot at all, but that's a famous Jew. I never tried for the ocean in life and paddle me own canoe. Oh well, I had no wife to bother me life, love it the real and true. The whole day long I laugh for the song and paddle me own canoe. Whee! It's all very well to defend a friend, that is if you prove the true. You'll find a far better way far in the end to paddle your own canoe. Expect that I'd say to make your own way is a world you got travelling through. You never will say if you only will try to paddle your own canoe. Oh well, I have no wife to bother me life, love it to prove and true. The whole day long I laugh at a song and paddle my own canoe. So love everybody, just only the few is a world you got travelling through. I never sit down with a tin or a fro, but paddle your own canoe. I watched you like a delicate tag, I knew what I had to do. I can't spell it, but I can't be held and paddle me own canoe. Oh well, I have no wife to bother me life, love it to prove and true. The whole day long I laugh at a song and paddle me own canoe. Well, England is rude, a small little land, and then he's a country too. You take my advice and never think twice to paddle your own canoe. I was just like a dead